Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're continuing our series in the Player's Handbook talking about spellcasting, and we're talking about the Eldritch Knight. Eldritch Knights are a wonderful subclass of the fighter, a character that doesn't normally get spellcasting. Fighters are some of the masters of martial combat, with weapons and armor coming out of their ears. So what happens when you strap magic on them? Great things, that's what. Eldritch Knights are one of the best subclasses out there for the fighter, and their versatility and power is not to be ignored. Today we're talking about second level spells. Eldritch Knights take their spells from the wizard spell list, so we're looking at the wizard list, but we're not looking at the top 5 spells for wizards, because it turns out Eldritch Knights are not like wizards. They are martial characters, and they want their magic to enhance the thing that they're already doing, martial combat. So I have taken the top 5 list from the wizard, and I've modified it to be for the Eldritch Knight. I've got 2 recommendations for combat, 2 recommendations for utility, as well as an honorable mention. Before we get into the details, though, I'd like to let you know, Relaxed Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. You get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know you're a supporter. You get early access to my videos a day earlier than everyone else, and you get VIP access in my community Discord. I have been sharing a lot of homebrew ideas in my community Discord, and my VIPs get access before anybody else does. If any of that sounds interesting to you, you can click the join button just down there next to the subscribe button. And if it doesn't interest you, that's fine too. Just being here on my channel, watching the videos, liking, subscribing, maybe jumping in the general chat room of the Discord and seeing what I'm talking about in there as far as my homebrew goes. These are all wonderful ways to support me. So thank you for watching my content here on YouTube. Let's start off with the number 2 pick for utility for fighters. From the wizard spell list, I bring you the spell Spider Climb. Yes, it turns out that fighters, while they are strong and well-armed in combat, they're not the most maneuverable creatures out there. They're not like rogues and monks and rangers with their climbing speeds and their running up walls. However, with this spell, Spider Climb, you can do that. Cast it on yourself, walk up the wall, just like Spider-Man. You can even hang on to your weapons and shields and such when you do this. Now, this doesn't give you exactly the same thing as flight, but let me tell you, there's a lot of enemies with climbing speeds, and even ones with flying speeds that will hover near walls, especially if you're in smaller rooms. Spider Climb gives you a fantastic ability to do this in combat, but it also helps you outside of combat. The ability to just step onto a wall and climb along it in order to get away from a trap, or to escape from a collapsing building, or from a horde of monsters chasing you. Spider Climb has so many uses in and out of combat that I really had to give it some kind of mention here. You're a level 7 fighter at this point. Other spellcasters might have the fly spell or the polymorph spell, able to get themselves off the ground. With Spider Climb, you can do it too. So I'm giving it the number 2 spot for utility. As far as the number 2 spot for combat goes, that one is going to go to Mirror Image. This spell got lots of love in the new Player's Handbook. It's been buffed up. In the old days, it used to say that if a creature went to hit you, you'd roll a die, and if you rolled a certain number on the die, then they would aim for one of your mirror images, illusory selves that are all around you. Then, if they hit the mirror image's armor class, they would destroy it, meaning that they could potentially hit a mirror image when they would have missed you with an attack. The spell has been changed now to be the other way around. Now, they have to hit you first. They have to get past your armor class, which is usually higher than a mirror image's would be. If they do so, then you roll on the die, and if you roll the mirror image's numbers, then the mirror image is hit and destroyed. It's a good way to keep attacks from hitting you. Quick shout out to the spell Blur. I also wanted to give that one a mention because it gives creatures disadvantage on attacks against you, but it takes concentration. Mirror Image does not, meaning that I'm going to give it the edge in this particular list and give it the number 2 spot for the fighter in combat. Before we get to the number ones, I will mention the honorable mention here, and this isn't going to surprise anybody. It's Misty Step. Misty Step is one of my favorite spells out there, and let me tell you about this spell. It allows you to use a bonus action to teleport 30 feet to a spot you can see. It's an incredibly simple spell, but teleportation is wildly strong. It doesn't take your move speed, it simply takes your bonus action. This means that you can escape from grapples, something you got to worry about when you're in the midst of combat. This allows you to jump chasms with an extra 30 feet on your jump, because you could teleport in the middle of your jump. It allows you to get into hard-to-reach places. It allows you to get out of trouble, get into trouble. It's such a versatile spell. You can even use it to skip through locked doors. If you can just see through a crack in the door, teleport to the other side. It gives you so much utility and so much power in combat that I would be remiss to be missing it on this list. So I'm giving it the honorable mention. As far as the number ones are concerned, let's start with the utility one again, and I'm going to give this one to Enhance Ability. Enhance Ability is a skill monkey's dream. Now, fighters are not typically skill-based characters. However, they get some good features from their second wind and their associated uses of it, which allows them to add dice to their skill checks. And Enhance Ability actually adds to this even further. You choose a game stat, strength, dexterity, intelligence, whatever, and you give yourself advantage on checks with that stat. This means that not only can you get advantage from this spell, but you can also get that extra buff from your second wind fighter dice. This means that fighters, with a little bit of pre-planning, can actually be amazing at skill challenges. Not to mention the fact that this works not just on you. You can enhance the ability of a teammate, throw this on the bard or the rogue who haven't got enhanced ability in their back pockets, and you're going to be helping the whole party get past their skill checks. I think that this one is a no-brainer. If you want to have utility outside of combat, Enhance Ability is one of the best things you can pack. So I'm giving it the number one spot. But the number one spot in combat, this is a spell that works in and out of combat for combat and utility purposes, but it is most well known for its combat prowess, Enlarge Reduce. Enlarge Reduce, when cast on yourself, can turn you into a giant. I mean, not literally a giant. You go one size larger, so you go from medium size to large size. Or if you're a small sized creature, small to medium. While you're in this state, you have all the benefits of strength that would provide you, as well as dealing extra damage on your attacks. Even if you go from small to medium, Enlarge Reduce enhances your strength to the point where every time you hit, you roll an extra damage die from the spell. I think it's a d4. Might be a d6. I think it's a d4. But either way, to every attack that you hit with. And fighters have a lot of attacks, especially when they action surge. Not to mention just being a large presence on the battlefield, protecting your allies, taking up choke points, blocking enemies, even grappling them. If you're a strength-based fighter, you can run up to a huge monster and be large size. That lets you grapple them. It's a great power. All in all, Enlarge Reduce does exactly what you want it to do. It makes you grow to a big problem on the battlefield for your enemies, giving you the strength, the damage, and the presence to do all of this. And that is not even mentioning its utility stuff. You can also shrink your enemies, and you can even enlarge and shrink objects in order to get past puzzles and certain obstacles. All in all, it's a fantastic spell, and I'm giving it the number one spot for the fighter in combat. And yeah, that's it. If you're an Eldritch Knight who's level 7 is when you get your second level spells, and you aren't sure what to take, for skill-based things, I recommend Enhance Ability. For strength and combat prowess, I recommend Enlarge Reduce. For utility and teleportation, Misty Step is hard to beat. Mirror Image and Spider Climb are great in their specific situations, whether you need defense in melee or utility and mobility. All in all, any of these picks will serve you well, and yeah, I hope that helps. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more spellcasting reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.